All right, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to go over how to hire your first virtual assistant or your next virtual assistant. I recently made a post about this in my real estate school community. So if you want to join, I'll leave the link in the description below. But I kind of just wanted to make a video to expound on this and go over this so that if you're looking to hire a virtual assistant, you'll be able to do that after this video. So first things first, I'm going to go on Upwork.com. And this is an example of one of the postings we actually have live right now. But Upwork is what I would recommend to anyone who has never hired a virtual assistant before, because they basically handle the whole process for you and make it very simple, very easy, so that you don't have to do a bunch of kind of third-party services and kind of put it all together yourself. So if you've never hired a virtual assistant before, or if you only have a couple, I would recommend using Upwork because, like I said, they handle the payments for you, they handle the contracts, they handle the time tracking all in one platform. They do charge you a fee for doing that. But I think if you do it yourself, all the other, platforms are going to charge you a fee anyway. So I recommend Upwork. I still use them myself. And yeah, so I'm just going to go over an example here. So all you would do is log into Upwork, create a free account, and then you can post jobs and you can also look for talent without posting a job. We typically do both. So this is an example of a job posting that I have active right now. And this is we're looking for someone to be a lead manager, which in our business means that they're basically kind of like mission control is what I would call it. They basically help manage the team and they basically do a little bit of everything. So they help come up with comps. They help, like I said, manage the team. They help acquisitions, like reviewing calls and doing that sort of thing. They also help sell the deals and they help with transaction coordination. So kind of everything. And so I'm a sports fan. So I basically wrote my own job post and then I sent it to ChatGPT and I asked them to basically improve it, or I asked ChatGPT to improve it for me. And this is what I came up with. So you can ask ChatGPT to write you a full job posting based on what you're looking for. Just give them some prompts and they can basically do it for you. And then you can edit as needed. So this is an example of a post. I can send this to you if you're interested, or like I said, you can just use ChatGPT to come up with it yourself. And then once you make a posting on here, you'll get some people applying on their own. And you can also go in here and invite freelancers. So when you do this, you can sort by United States only if you want someone who's from the United States or living in the United States, or you can leave that off and then that will search the entire world, which is pretty cool. Yeah, you can hire talent everywhere. And in here you can search, for example, if you wanted someone to be, let's say, SMS marketing. For example, if you were looking for someone to help you with like launch control, smarter contact, or any of the SMS platforms, you could search with someone who already has SMS marketing experience, because it's much easier when someone at least has some general knowledge in the position that you're trying to hire them for. So as you can see, when I search this, it pops up with a bunch of people. We can see their job success, their hourly rate, which is always negotiable, and then kind of some things about them just at a glance here. And if you click on this, you can see more. Typically, we like to look for people that have at least 90% job success. Sometimes we go down to 80, if they look good, but we don't like, typically this first person here has 71%. I would probably not pursue that person just because of the 71% there. And what that means is that Upwork is kind of like a social media platform as well, where once you hire someone and let's say they complete the job or you fire them, you both give each other a review. So you're going to get a review based on, yourself, your company, and then they're going to get a review based on the work they did for you. So when you see this 100% job success, that means that everyone this person has worked with was very pleased with the work that they did. So that's a very good thing to see, especially when you see that they've had over $20,000 earned, which means they've done a lot of jobs because their hourly rate is $6 an hour and they've earned $20,000. So you can kind of do the math there and see how many hours they worked, and everyone was satisfied. So this looks like a great candidate if I was looking for someone with SMS marketing experience. And so then all you would have to do, you could click on their profile here. You could look at like a little bit more about them, and then you could invite them to your job, or you could make them an offer right away and click hire. And that's where you would send them like a job offer. And so this is a great way to find people. Typically, this is how we find people. Typically, when you post a job, you're going to get proposals, but you're not going to get like a ton of proposals. And so typically this is the way that we find people. And as you can see, I'm on a free plan of Upwork still to this day. And so they give you a certain number of invites each month. And once that runs out, it runs out. But 21 is very good. You just don't want to be inviting everyone. That's why I said, be very specific. Set yourself a criteria of how much you want to pay, what type of job success you're looking for, and so on and so forth. And you can search for any variety of thing. Like if you wanted phone support, I could search for that and search for someone who has experience with phone support. Or if I wanted, for example, email marketing, you can search for that, and you kind of see how it works. So that's pretty much how things work with Upwork. Then one other thing I would recommend is, let's say you find someone on here that you like and you send them a job offer and they accept. I would always send someone an offer for a part-time project first. So let's say you find someone, you talk to them, you interview them, and you really like them. Even still, I would not recommend bringing someone on full-time at the very beginning. I recommend you give them some sort of project. So let's use the SMS marketing task, for example. So let's say you're using launch control. That's what we use for SMS marketing. I would just give someone a small project within that scope of work. So for example, you're using launch control, you're sending out text to sellers every day. I would just hire this person, give them an offer. You want to pay them for their time, of course, but give them an offer on a project base. So tell them, like, this is what I want you to do, and this is how much I'll pay you for doing it. And then let's say, for example, you want to have them build you out, let's say 5 drip sequences in launch control with templates and everything so that you can use those. So for that type of task, I would give them no more than 24 hours to complete it. It's a pretty simple task. But when you give that to them, you're going to notice a few things right off the bat. Number one, are they receptive to even doing that for you before you hire them full time? If someone says, like, no, they don't want to help you out with this project, like they're only looking for full-time work, that's a red flag. Because if they're eager and hungry to prove themselves to you, then that's a green flag. That's someone who you probably want to work with. But if they don't want to and they decline your offer to hire them on a part-time project, then it's usually a red flag, and those people don't tend to work out. So I would give them like I said, a brief project. It could be anything that small, or it could be a couple days long. Like, for example, you could give them, not full access, but you can give them user access to your launch control and ask them to respond to all the text for a day and see how that goes. And that's just an example. You don't have to do that, but I would just give them something small that relates to your scope of work. And that way you can see how they work, how quickly they respond to you, how they accept your feedback. For example, if they do something wrong, you give them constructive criticism. Do they immediately correct? Do they mess it up again? Like those sorts of things. You're just noticing all the small things about working with someone. And then if you like working with them, you can obviously bring them on as a full-time position or part-time position. If you're not sure, you could just ask them to do another project, and then you could spend a little bit more time working together. Or if you don't like them, you just pay them for the project and you go about your business with someone else. And that way you've only expended a small amount of money. Like, for example, most virtual assistants are in this range, which is typically $5 to $10 per hour. So if you had them work, one full workday for you at $5 an hour, that's $40 that you spent. And I would never look at that as a waste. It's an investment, and you're learning as well as they're learning. Like, you're learning how to work with people, how to work with virtual assistants, how to delegate tasks and things like that. So I would never look at it as a waste. And you can do that with, like I said, 2 or 3 or 4 people until you find someone that you like. I would only do that after you've already spoken to them and interviewed them, stuff like that. But I would always recommend you do that before you hire someone. And then one other tip that I want to recommend is that you add something like this in your job posting. So, excuse me, what we always do is we include this line at the very top of our application. And this helps us filter out people who, number one, they're not reading our application because it's at the very top, like we make it pretty easy. And then number two, they can't follow instructions, because let's say they did read it and they still didn't do it, then that means they can't follow instructions. And number three, it also shows us how they interact on video, how well their accent is, and their DIS test results as well, to see if that lines up with what you're looking for. So we like to do this with a brief video, like exactly what I have highlighted here, a brief video introduction, as well as their DIS test results. And then, like I said, we can see how they interact on video, how well their English speaking is, because in some roles it's very important. If they're going to be on the phone, you want to make sure that their accent is someone that you can understand. And then also, if they can, like I said, if they can read your job posting and follow instructions, that's very important as well. So I would always recommend you include something like this. If you're not interested in their DIS test results, you could remove this part. But I would recommend you have at least ask them to include a video or an audio introduction, so that way you can, number one, filter applications quickly based off of who didn't follow instructions. And then you can also filter quickly based off of who you don't think has a, like I said, a good enough accent to be on the phone or whatever you're looking for. You can kind of edit this to whatever position you're looking for. Like I said, if you were looking for an SMS marketing person, you could ask them to please submit a brief video of them like working on an SMS account for someone in the past. So you can kind of see what their experience level is and kind of hear them talk through it. So that could be another thing you could do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's how you can hire someone on Upwork. I can make a follow-up video on hiring someone on this site, which is called onlinejobs.ph. This is primarily for hiring Filipino virtual assistants, and this is a really good site for finding good talent. But like I said, if you were just getting started, just looking to hire your first virtual assistant, I would recommend using Upwork.com because they make it super simple for you, like I said, and they hire all the payments and everything. It's automatic, like it's automatically paid every week, so you don't have to worry about paying the virtual assistants. They handle the contracts, and everything is all within this platform. You can message people here as well, so you don't have to download external app. You can do it all on the Upwork platform. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Let me know what you think. If you want me to send you an example of some of my job postings, this is just one of them. I have multiple for different positions. So if you want me to send you any of those, just let me know. Drop a comment below. I'd be happy to send that over to you. And if you want to see a follow-up for onlinejobs.ph and just a little bit more about the process that we use to hire people, just let me know, and I'll be happy to make a follow-up video. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.